Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elsen Productions' presentation of the 2021 Mile High Classic. This event was held at Fehringer Ranch Disc Golf Course in October of 2021. I am Justin Gill. I'm here with Liam Stott. Liam, how you doing, bud?
I am doing great.
You are also doing great on this day. You were 9 for 9 to get going. If you have not watched the front 9 of round 1, go watch 9 straight birdies from Liam Stott. Let's go.
I was excited. Great first round. It was fun watching the coverage. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go look at it. But now we got the back 10.
Nick's only 2 behind you. Micah's only 3 behind you. And Harrigan had found a bunch of OB and is looking to put some birdies on the scorecard.
Yeah, Nick was 1 bogey, no pars, and 8 birdies. So he could have easily been there right with me at 9 down. Micah, smooth 6 down. Definitely looking for more birdies on the back nine as well.
Here we go, hole number 10.
Yeah, we got, this is a hole that's usually on the course, but we moved the basket because of erosion. Because I think where the basket is now, it's like 6 inches from OB.
Yeah, you can see that stick sticking out of the sleeve there.
Yeah, the original. So we moved it in, make it a little more fair. But yeah, 225, a little pitch forehand hyzer for righties, a little pitch backhand for our lefty Micah. But definitely a gettable hole, a little scary with that OB all the way down the right side.
And it's a blind hole. You can't see it from the box. So you can see Liam kind of take off left and make sure that he did park it. Yes, he did.
Yeah, so had to step out to see the finish. But yeah, I'm just pitching a Draco there, trying to get near it. And yeah, it worked out well.
And I think the right-hand forehand is actually the best throw for this hole. I think the left-hand backhand is slightly harder because of that skip potential.
Yeah, and he's got to glide something in there. Throwing that P2 again, I believe. Just as close, if not a little bit closer than I landed. So good shot out of Micah.
Nick also going with the forehand because I think that is the best throw here. And you see it just dump and crash and absolutely parks it.
Yeah, we those 3 drives definitely made this hole look, I think, a little easier than it is. That OB does come into play pretty quick for a lot of throws. So, but those were 3 great shots.
And this is one of the holes that I think Kyle forced himself to learn forehand for, being that he plays Fehringer weekly. And just throws that one a little low, but he wanted that little low skip. He didn't want to go into the OB. But now he's dealing with this, do I run it, do I lay it up kind of mentality.
And that's a kind of a common theme out at Fehringer. Like, you play the safe shot, you end with a death putt. So
yeah.
Nothing's really safe out here.
No, and Kyle gave it a little half bid, and it was probably a foot or 2 short of those chains. But a nice little safe run gives him the easy tap-in par.
Yeah. Not a bad run by him. And you saw Micah tap in as well. I'm tapping in here. We have a temp basket, so honestly it's nice to be close on temp baskets because sometimes they like to spit your disc out. But all 3 tap-ins for Nick, Micah, and I.
Yeah, those 10-footers are fine on the temp baskets.
Yeah.
All right, now this is our 11th hole of the day. Liam, what's your strategy here?
Yeah, again, we're working with close OB by the basket. You got these 2 guardian trees, and so my thought process is make it past the first guardian tree. Because worst case scenario, I'm going long, land an OB, 10 feet, tap in 3. So I don't want to hit that front tree and have a 40-footer going towards the OB. So just put enough on it and pitch it up there.
Same kind of throw as last hole, just a little more juice?
It's pretty much identical. I threw the exact same discs, exact same power, I feel like, and I think it ended up pretty close.
And sorry for that weird drone footage. That was weird. But yeah, I'm getting better at it. It's hard flying a drone sometimes.
Yeah, that tree probably got in your way. Micah
with winds.
Yeah, Micah doing the same shot as I think he's on the same P2. Gets a bad kick off that tree, but he'll have a putt for 2. I think Nick is the only one throwing a different disc than the last hole.
Is this like a mid-range, like a mutant or something?
I think he's throwing a mutant. Yeah, he was throwing a lot of disc mania last year, so I got to imagine this is a mutant. He throws further than me, so he's discing down a little bit. But that's what I'm not wanting to do, is hit that front tree. So he's going to have a 40-footer that's kind of going towards those tassels that you don't want to find.
And as a right-hand backhand player, I am jealous of all these right-hand forehands for this hole because it is the proper throw.
Yeah. I think I was. I remember joking with my. That's a tough OB to find, but he's got a pretty good tap in three from where he's at. So good miss.
Sometimes you hit these guardian trees like Nick and Micah did, and sometimes you don't, and you go OB.
There's nub number 3 coming into play for the 7th or 8th time this round.
the hit zone on these baskets is just a little bit shorter than you'd want it to be. Like a guy wearing his pants up around his belly button.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Micah banging that putt for his bird.
Yeah, not to outshine Micah's beautiful putt there. Good birdie for him, and yeah, there's the tap in for top.
Yep. Win OB on the drive, circle 3. Yeah. And look at this slam dunk here.
Yeah.
No style points, but the birdie counts the same.
I should have thought of something. Who was it? AJ Risley was the guy that used to do that. He would do funny little tap-ins from his close.
Yeah, but you're not putting your streak on the line. Because, ladies and gentlemen, look at the scoreboard. The man's hit 11 straight. We are here on the A-hole. This is a temp hole. Liam, what are you doing here?
Yeah, who are you calling an A-hole?
This hole is the A-hole.
Yeah, so this is the one temp hole on the course. That's usually the position for hole 11. And so I think this was part of a tournament last year potentially, or a similar-ish hole. But this is kind of blind for all 4 or 3 of us because Kyle put the tournament together. But you got to play it really high, really wide. You don't want to miss short left. So I played it, I think, wider than I was hoping for. But I'll still have fun.
So as we flip the camera to the T-cam here, and you can see the left, or the bushes on the left, this tree on the left, where the basket's hiding. You want to probably get it 40, 50 feet from that right edge.
Yeah.
So it really has to move left. So big sky hyzer is ideal, but you have to clear all those trees as well.
Yeah, and not even a sky hyzer because it's so close to the trees on the back side of those bushes. You want to have it stall out almost, and kind of come backwards towards the basket. Nick did a really good job with it there.
So you see Kyle's was a little too low and just got kind of caught up.
Yeah, he got out pretty well, but that's the miss that I'm trying not to do when I'm stepping up that hole. Good little run there.
Awkward footing here, very lumpy ground, lots of bushes and roots and little holes in the ground and stuff. It's tricky.
Yeah.
How far are you? About 35 here?
35, 40, yeah.
Oh, right off the top.
Yeah, there's the streak ender right there, but I missed high, so I can't really be mad at myself.
No, that's a fine miss.
Yeah.
Kyle's even got a little look for a bird.
Yeah.
Oh. He also goes off the top.
This is high.
This one feels lower than all the other baskets.
I was about to say, I wonder if it's a little sunken down basket there. Both of us missing high. Here's Nick, closest of the bunch.
I'd argue that the basket is normal height, and the rest of the baskets of Fehringer are too tall. As you see, everyone's missing tall.
I was about to say, all 4 of us. Micah was, I think, over the top of the basket. And 2 tap-ins for par. I got a little bit of a comebacker here.
And you can be in some weird stuff back there.
Yeah, there's some serious branches and stumps back there. But put it in, save my par, and Nick's got another little tap in. Got to think about it, but it's pretty close.
He's hit this putt a couple times already today. On hole 5 comes to mind.
Yep.
But for a par.
Yeah. So par frame for us, I think for at least the 3 of us, I think it was just a new hole. Didn't really know exactly how to get close, and we just missed our putts.
Speaking of A-holes, this is hole 12. It is a mound. There's normally a crazy right to left wind. This thing is near impossible to sit on top of because, as you'll see as the drone comes up, it dives down back to the left as well. Liam, anything you want to add to this?
Diabolical.
A-hole.
Yeah, it's diabolical. And just to add to the chaos, the dirt, dust on top of the mound just doesn't let anything stick.
And you do what I normally do, which is try to hit the right side of the hill, give yourself a putt, and you're down at kind of the base. It kind of rolled down a little bit, and that's a 25-footer, but up 12, 15 feet.
Straight up, yeah. There's like a little plateau where I landed. So if you hit hyzer for righty backhand, you kind of land on a plateau. It's a little bit closer to the basket, but still scary.
And this thing is subject to the wind. Luckily, oh man, almost goes off the cage.
Yeah, but he's 40 long left.
Yeah.
40 long left now, so unless you hit it, it's just so hard to get this one to stick close.
And normally really strong wind, but I think we were blessed with a nice kind of calm morning here.
Yeah, we were. And yeah, see, he's gonna land it on top. I think he rolls. No, he did it. There you go. That's
caught by a rock.
That's 1 in 100 right there to stay on the top of that ridge. So he'll have a level putt and not really aiming at any drop off. So good spot to end.
And Kyle, same strategy. He aims for that little ledge just like you do.
I think we're going to be in almost the exact same spot.
Yeah, so Micah's ace run gives him just in a layup attempt.
Yeah.
That is it. Harrigan, layup attempt. And almost rolls down the hill.
Stays. So I feel like I'm like too close to layup.
And
I airball it.
Yep.
And this is what happens when you airball it. You have another exact same putt.
And that looked perfect. And it was just wide?
Yeah, I think I got a little scared, so I ended up just shortening it and it hyzered out left. There I catch some change this time. And I think it stays up. But
diabolical, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what you don't want to do, especially when you're having a good round.
But they're all putts that you can make, so you feel like you have to run them because they're putts that you've made before.
And it just compounds itself too. Once you miss one, you're like, I'm gonna make this one now.
Yep.
And then you miss two, and you're like, I'm definitely gonna make this one.
Yeah. And you overcorrected just a little bit, like you went left side on that last putt because you weren't missing right. And here you are, and you're like, I'm done missing. Because once again, if he misses this, that's a 40-foot comeback.
Yeah.
From that angle.
And I was probably inches from sliding all the way back down the hill, but sneak away with my double bogey 4-putt. But it's kind of like a birdie or a bogey on this hole.
And this one here is our island hole 13. Got to clear these little mounds and try to land it here in the logs.
Yeah, again, with the Colorado wind spinning, it makes this hole exponentially harder. We had pretty good wind today, so it wasn't as much of a factor. But yeah, you have a little V to kind of throw your hyzer through, and you're just trying to hit that tiered green, so you don't have too much of a putt.
This one does have a drop zone if you don't stick the island.
Yeah, I think one of the spots today that is a drop zone instead of where you cross.
Nick throwing a big spike.
Super I didn't realize that he hits one of the 2x4s that makes that tiered green and just rockets out of bounds. That's unfortunate.
When good shots go wrong.
Yeah. And lefty, I think Micah's throwing that same P2 again. He's throwing something slow and just doesn't give it enough. It hyzers out on him early.
The island is tricky.
Yeah, island's just getting you ahead. An easy shot turns into a hard one when you think you have to stick an island.
Kyle with a good line.
He loves it. He turns around. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
No.
And there we go.
Knew it was parked.
That's awesome. Yeah, right up. He's going to have a tap in.
And what are you throwing on this one, man?
I am throwing, speaking of Calvin on the front nine coverage, I'm throwing a Calvin Heimberg Draco. It's my most stable Draco, so I just want to make sure I'm diving into this so I don't get too much of a skip in.
And perfect.
Yeah, I think I kissed Kyle's disc on the way in.
And I throw a Sexton Firebird pretty similar to the Draco.
Yeah. Oh, very similar. Yeah, they're almost identical.
So if you can't get a Sexton Firebird, go check out a Draco.
Definitely, a little more affordable.
Yeah. Nick and Micah from the drop zone. Very rare for people to bang home this drop zone putt. How far out are they?
Probably 60, maybe 70. I think if I'm UDisc scoring that, I might put fairway throw in if I'm making that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super tough, especially with that raised green. Both of them ran it, and they have little 15-footers that get nervy on this raised basket.
Big time, especially with that tall grill, which makes the hit zone even smaller because it's elevated.
Yeah, and throw some wind in there, it's impossible.
Very tricky. Very, very tricky.
But yeah, here's me and Kyle stepping in for the ideal spot to land. Nice little loop you do out of Nick.
I mean, sometimes I just lay it up to where you guys put your drives.
Yeah. I like those little pancake putt out of Kyle. Their style points. I don't have any style points. I'm sorry.
No. You're a man on a mission. You just took a double bogey. You're all about getting that birdie again.
Yeah, it's nice to get back on track.
All right, now we're back to crushing. Hole 4.
Yeah, hole 4, 595, par 4. We're playing to the long left I think this isn't a combined hole yet. This is just the longer left version of hole 14. It's a crusher. You can get it in your head that you want to try to get there for an eagle putt, but that OB on the right, when you try to crush something, if you turn it over, guaranteed OB.
And there's OB deep as well.
Yeah. So really, you want to step up to this one, throw a nice 400, 350 hyzer, and get your upshot from there, because this is one you want to birdie.
And Huckface Harrigan puts himself in pretty good position.
Yep. We were talking about that grass earlier too. Some of that grass is pretty tall on the left side. It can kind of get on your head for your upshot.
So this looks like the same disc you threw on 9.
So the exact same disc, just different one. It's an EcoStar Scorp, just a more stable version of it. Because I just want to make sure I don't turn it over into that OB, but still get some good distance. So
still turning Dan around.
Yeah. I think I put that out probably 475, maybe 500.
Awesome crush. Wind, if anything, normally like left to right on this hole.
Yeah.
Very still for this moment.
I was kind of unlucky that we walked out with no wind, because you want something to try to get you a little bit more distance.
And Nick overcooks his drive.
Yeah, he's heading toward that OB. He stays safe. Okay.
Yeah.
That can get squirrely pretty fast over there. Nice lefty hole for Micah.
I mean, wide open on the left. No OB, no problems to worry about. He can really lay into this one.
And I think you can see him kind of gearing up here, stepping off. I think he's looking for a huge flex and hyzer.
And yep.
Just a little bit too much.
Man, overcooked.
Yeah. I think he's throwing nukes, if I remember right. So overcooking a nuke is kind of tough to do.
He's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
This looks like that zone.
Yep. Definitely throwing a zone. So we're gonna pan over to the basket there. You kind of have a ditch to land in, puts you maybe 10, 15 short of the basket. It's a good area to aim at because you do have OB. Classic Fehringer, you got OB 15 feet behind the basket.
And there's that ditch right there that Liam's talking about.
Yeah, so that's what I'm aiming for, trying to land in that disc. Ditch, sorry. My disc in that ditch.
And not the bad ditch, which is the deep.
Yes.
There's the short ditch, which is the good ditch.
There you go.
Yeah. But you're putting at that OB ditch again.
Yeah. And here's Nick. He's got a good angle. He can kind of avoid that OB.
Nick didn't like the drive. He put his hair up. Notice that? Game time now.
Game time. Nick is in action.
So this is that tough death putt with OB ditch behind. By being a little bit short. Half bid, but can't give it the full bid because of that OB deep.
Yeah, so you can see the high hyzering putt. Nice putt by Kyle right there.
Kyle is very good at this putt. He bangs these all day, every day.
Yeah. Awesome. Instant replay. I think it's the second one of the first round, so nice job there.
Good form, Kyle.
And yeah, here's this 15, 20-foot putt you have out of the ditch. That's exactly what I was looking for, and he was able to convert.
And I like your putt for these baskets because you have a very center putt, and you try to ride that pole.
Yeah, you got to hit pole. Sometimes, if you do hit pole, they come back at you.
Yeah. I noticed on your putt there, it was a little high, and it stalled for just a half a second before deciding to hang out in the cage.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Good birdie out of Nick as well, and I think Micah's a little bummed about that par because I think he had eagle hopes when he stepped up to that tee.
Yep, hole 15, another right hand forehand ideal throw.
Yeah, this one, 265. Probably like the third or fourth similar hole where you're just pitching a hyzer up. I think I'm going to be throwing that same Draco. You have a kind of catching wall here. What would you call that? A dike. A little catching dike right there where the river behind is the OB. So you want to, missing inside is almost better because you can catch that hill. If you hit a little bit early to the left, you can get a big skip and catch that OB. So it's kind of a touchy landing zone.
This was the easiest hole of round one as far as the scores show, but I always find this one a little tricky.
Yeah, that's surprising to hear. I think you can find that OB so fast on this one. And yeah, I'm pitching up that same Draco.
Woo! Look at that jump.
That's what I'm saying.
Woo!
Yeah, I remember that
What?
right. Yeah.
I did not remember you going OB on that.
Yeah.
That drive looked perfect.
So that's the unfortunate miss. I got a bigger skip than I was hoping for and just jumped over that hill.
You hit one of those Mario Kart boost pads.
Yeah. Exactly. And here's that mutant, I think, again at a nick.
Little inside, as you said, that's the miss.
So yes, you see he missed inside, but he catches the hill instead of a big skip if he missed left. So yeah, he played that one well.
Here's your power lefty. Looks like a zone.
Yep. Yeah, I think that Pokemon stamped one is a zone.
Inside.
Inside, he catches the hill. There
Catches
you
the
go.
hill parked. So 3 insides, and they're all right there. And then Liam throws the perfect line, hits the Mario Kart boost pad to go OB.
Yep. And
Tickled all the chains for your circle 3.
dang. Yeah, so I take the bogey here. Nick's got, that tree is in his way. He's got a little forehand pitch.
Look at this smooth criminal getting rejected by this basket.
Yeah, just too much pace for these chains to handle. And we got a hiding a flamingo.
Mm-hmm. Hidden flamingo.
Yeah.
Shy flamingo.
Shy flamingo.
Yeah. For the tapping bird.
Tapping bird for Micah as well. Unfortunate par. That tree is not kind to him, as with the basket. I'm tapping in my boat.
Disappointing after a perfect drive. And here we are on hole number 16. Thanks again to Prodigy Disc for sponsoring the Mile High Classic in 2021. Looking forward to 2022. What are you doing here on hole 16, Liam?
Yeah, 16, probably the touchiest hole on the course. You got a bunch of trees to miss. There's a Mando. You saw the Mando post on the right. Kind of hard Mando to govern. You know, it's just a little post that says Mando on it. I would like
see
to
the wind kicking up now.
Yeah.
On the drone footage here.
Wind is kicking up. I would like to see a Mando on that tree on the left as well.
Me too.
Kind of make it a double Mando. But you want to throw kind of a stand-up putter, and it's farther than it feels.
Mm-hmm.
315. It plays like 350 to me.
Yep.
And I think Kyle catches that right tree and kicks into some gnarly bushes.
And Micah going tight up the middle and kicking to the right. I think he's still before the Mando.
Still before the Mando, and I think the creek is not playing as OB today on this hole for whatever reason.
So Nick throws a perfect line, but it looks like he just catches that tree. Just doesn't break early enough.
Yeah.
Most people just aim at this big tree and hope to crash in because that basket's 40 deep of that big tree.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm aiming for. A hyzer out a little early, but a good miss on this hole.
Yep.
Yeah, so Micah is in this ditch, but they weren't playing OB, I think because they couldn't get the tassels out there for the round. So we're not playing that as OB, so he gets a break. But still has a big 40-footer, 50-footer probably for par.
Oh, look at this instant replay.
He just smashes it. Awesome putt by Micah.
Let's go, Micah.
Woo!
Yeah, run that in, baby. And just FYI for the viewers at home, those are not padded calves. Those are his calves. Micah's an athlete.
Yeah, serious cab envy out here.
And here you are with a great looking line, just a little short.
Yeah, that was an artistic shot right there. I like that, but wasn't able to catch it.
Kyle from the Brambles.
Yeah.
I don't like being in those
I
brambles.
don't either. You come out with a couple of scrapes.
You can see the thorns on those.
Yeah. And here's Nick. Great drive.
Just
Nice.
off that front cage.
Yeah, sneaks it in there. A little bit of payback from the basket from last hole.
And looks like things are all tied up now.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, par there for me and a birdie out of Nick. 2-10 downs. Dang, it's a tight race.
Yeah. And this is still round 1. We have round 2 after this, but hole 17, a little tricky little OB ditches throughout.
Yeah.
What's your strategy here?
Yeah, again, it's managing your misses is what Fehringer is all about. So as we come up here over this hill, you can see OB 10 feet to the right of 17. So I'm throwing another touch forehand hyzer and missing left. That's all I'm thinking about. Miss left. So
Because that ditch is on the right and it wraps around, and it's probably a 15-foot radius, maybe even 10 foot.
yeah, it's close. And Nick is going the unconventional backhand hyzer.
OB the entire way.
Yeah, he's flying OB the entire way. And I think he's just putting. Ooh, he almost hasted. I think his theory probably is just run into that hill. I think it's probably 25, 30 from the basket. So he's running that hill and have that birdie putt from there.
And every time you have a birdie putt on Fehringer, there's a death putt, and it's OB behind.
Yep. But Kyle doing the traditional forehand, and he's probably thinking the same thing. Just miss left. That's all you're really thinking about.
A lot of the same discs run a lot of the same ways at Fehringer, but different OBs, different trees, different winds. But if you're locked in on this 250-foot row, either left-hand backhand or right-hand forehand, you can get 6 birdies on this course.
Yeah, definitely. And smooth lefty. That's that zone.
There's one of those 6.
Yeah. We'll dance out of him too.
Yeah. I mean, that deserves a dance. That was perfect. What are you throwing here?
I'm throwing a Draco, that same quantum Draco. I think, like you said, on the 6 holes of 250 and in, just touching it up there.
No clouds to aim for in Colorado. Crystal clear blue sky. And where does that end up?
I think, there it is.
Right
So
there.
I'm going to have a 20-foot death putt.
Yep. Fehringer Classic. Kyle's up on that mound. This is probably a 8-foot drop from there. So his feet are about basket height from that ledge.
Yeah, and he's, again, super death putt. He's throwing it high, just seeing if he can catch some chains.
This is where ace runs go.
Yep. And that's scary putt.
Frightening.
Yeah, so he taps in his par. Yeah, that backhand hyzer is just a tough way to go.
Some of us have no choice. Some of us haven't taught ourselves the forehand.
Yeah.
Look at you with the forehand birdie again.
Yeah, that was a good. I felt good about that putt, especially with the death behind. So I'm happy walking away with the birdie there.
Flamingo time.
Yeah, this is a long flamingo putt, probably 10, 15 feet.
Bang.
A little high, but he gets it in there.
I don't know why Kyle's right calf isn't twice the size of his left calf. I mean, they should be Micah sized calf. Like the right one should be Micah sized, and the left one should be normal. Micah with the tap in, dunk. And here we are, hole 18. What are you doing to bring us home, Liam?
Yeah, fun hole here. There's an OB ditch along the right. I don't know if we're playing this OB today, actually, but that's in my mind when I'm stepping up to this hole. 386, plays 400. You're just throwing a big hyzer, trying to crash into these bushes here around the basket. Give yourself a little tap in, but longs are not a bad way to go.
And you see this is a pretty standard breeze out there. All the bushes are moving. Pretty constant, probably 15, 20 mile an hour wind out of Fehringer. Certain days will gust up into the 40s out there. But during this first round is probably in the 10s, low teens.
We were low wind today. And there's a big lefty hyzer, nice little skip. Micah's right next to it. Nice shot. Yeah.
And this basket, probably the top of it is fairway height because it goes down about 6 or so feet off of that. Probably like 25, 30 feet away from the basket is where the ground probably comes back up to the top of the basket. So it's a little kind of blind. You can kind of see the top of it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And you go super wide.
Yeah, so I'm throwing that Quasar again, boss type disc. So I'm going high hyzer, not trying to turn the cameraman around in this one, but went a little long.
Great line though. You're just probably 15, 20 long or so.
Yeah, I think a little bit longer on that one. I think I'm gonna have a circle's edge, but not mad about it.
No, and those grasses will catch you deep. Nick probably doing the same line, big wide spiking hyzer.
Yeah, I think he's throwing FD though. I don't remember his bag that well, but spiking hyzer, similar.
You can see it coming on in and almost hits Dan.
Yeah, he's looking to.
Dan has to jump out of the way of that one too. You guys trying to ace run this last one?
We're trying to hit the cameraman. It seems like.
Once again, the hit Dan challenge is active.
But I think long is the miss because you have a backstop, as you mentioned, the fairway going down towards the basket. You have a backstop on your putts.
And Kyle slips a little bit on the box and throws his into the ground a little bit lower than he wanted to.
Yeah, so he'll have a long birdie bid, but he does it to perfection. Got a little tap in for par to finish out his round.
Nice up, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm looking. It looks more like 35 feet. And
Yep.
Catch that front cage.
Nick's also got a 25, 30 footer.
Yep, to tie up round 1 and 11 down.
Forced to straddle and still sends it home.
Yeah, solid putt out of Nick.
And so it looks like Nick and Liam are going to be tied at 11 under for this round, which worked out to a 1,004 rating on the course that day. He definitely left some strokes out there, especially on that hole 12. But what a great round, man. You got the first 11 of the round and then ran into that A hole and then hole 12.
Yeah.
And then finished strong still and tied for first in round 2.
No, I'm definitely happy with my round going to lunch. Micah with a solid 10 down as well, right in our heels. And I think those are the 3 hot rounds of the day. So you'll see us 3 on the card for round 2.
Joined by David Stepp, who also shot a 10 down.
Solid
and here are our leaders, Ricardo and James and Matt Wren shooting 9 down, and Anthony and Dakota shooting 8 under. All great scores on that course, even though I bet you wanted to shoot 18 under.
I had that on my mind after after 11 holes, but a little bit of a limp into the finish, but I'm still happy sitting in first place. Excited for round 2.
Well, Liam, pleasure chatting with you, man. Good luck on tour this year. We'll be cheering for you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, we just finished up watching round 1 of the 2021 Mile High Classic presented by Prodigy Discs. Thank you, Prodigy, for your support, and thank you, Mile High Disc Golf Club, specifically Lauren Johnson, Jamie, and Kyle Harrigan for making sure this event went off. It was super smooth, as all Mile High events are.
Yeah.
Sitting here with the man that went 11 for 11, Mr. Liam Stott. Congratulations on that fantastic hot round, man.
Thank you, man. It was a good one out there. Great weather. Can't really ask for much more in Colorado without wind. So, yeah, had a good time out there.
You did, and you were putting from all around the place. You had a bunch of tap-ins because you were driving exceptionally well, but you also had some really good putts. I'm thinking hole 2 kind of got you going. That was a huge putt. What were you putting with during this event, and why do you putt with those putters?
Yeah, I originally putted way back in the day with P2s, and last year Millennium came out with their Omega 4, their P2 version. In the ET plastic is the one I like. It's kind of grippy, and as it beats in, it gets more and more grippy. So I love the beadless putter. You know, I was putting around Omega 4s there.
What does ET stand for?
I think extra tough.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. But don't quote me on that.
Because I watched a movie growing up called ET, and he just wanted to go home. So do you send your putters home?
I should
think of that every time you putt.
Yeah, Calvin has the pizza in the oven. I should think ET phone home, basket's home. You got something there.
I think you got something. You were also throwing the Draco really, really well. Tell me why you choose to throw the Draco.
Yeah, Firebird type disc is a staple in just about every disc golfer's bag. And the Draco, especially in that the pink one I was throwing is the Quantum plastic, which is the Champ firm stiff plastic. It's just so predictable. If you put it on hyzer, it's staying on hyzer. You can kind of manipulate the amount of torque you put on it to gauge the distance. If you throw it in the headwind, you can even force it over. It's going to come back. So just a super predictable disc, and that firm plastic really sticks when it hits. So.
And slightly easier to obtain than a Sexton Firebird.
Yes. So if you're looking for a Sexton Firebird, but only have $30 or $40, go grab one from Millennium.
And we saw, I don't know, a half dozen birdies with that Draco down that front 9.
I think I probably teed off with it 8 or 9 times. So yeah, definitely a good disc.
Calvin likes them. You like them. I think I got to check them out.
There we go.
And then you were crushing this green one all day. What was that?
Yeah, so that's the EcoStar Scorp. They brought back last year. They brought back the EcoStar plastic that Innova ran on the, I think X-Cals and T-Birds were the big ones that were popular 10 or 15 years ago. But they brought it back, put it on the Scorps. The disc Greg Barsby has made famous, the Destroyer type. And I have them in the 170, 171 range. So once you beat them in, they just bomb out here in Colorado.
I've never seen a disc do what your disc did on hole 9. I mean, that was phenomenal, 600-foot drive. You also crushed it on 14, but it was a different mold or a different disc of the same mold. You said, right?
Yeah, just a little pop toppier, a little bit of a bigger dome on it, so just a little more stable.
Cool. And then if there's a disc in your bag now, this tournament was 6 months ago. If you can go back 6 months ago and give yourself a disc from today, what disc would you give?
Yeah, I would definitely put in. So we just got this new disc from Millennium, the Quantum Solstice. It's the old MD4 mold, and so I would probably replace a lot of those AVR X3 shots, just a little bit faster. Hole 4, we were talking about the ace runs. You can give it a little bit more. This is moving a little faster, a little bit over an ace run. You have that backstop, and just a good approach disc. It's a little straighter than the old MD4s I used to throw. And so I'm looking around 315 on this disc. Super controllable forehand, backhand. Definitely something that is an add to the bag here in Colorado.
It says first contact. What does first contact mean?
Yeah, so Millennium's all space themed. So
yeah.
Speaking of ET earlier, first contact is just the first run of the disc.
Oh, cool,
yeah.
Sweet. And 5403 were the flight numbers on this thing. So a beefy mid, but predictable with wind.
Yeah. And it feels a little straighter than the 3 number. You can definitely get it to stand up and ride flat for a while. So you can get it out there 350 on a good huck, but you put it on hyzer, it's that 250, 275, just predictable distance.
And that plastic looks like candy champ all day.
Yeah, it's that luster feel almost. It's not too stiff. You can kind of mess with it. Millennium gets some good plastic out there.
We hear it. We saw it. What's the next thing that we should check out from Millennium? If we're putting with the Mega 4s, if we are doing our Draco forehand and backhand predictable drives, if we're crushing with the Orion.
Orion and the Scorp.
In the Scorp.
Scorpius, yeah.
The Barsby Scorp, yep. And now we're approaching as well with this. What other discs should we add to our Millennium bag?
Yeah, that's a good question. I got to shout out my favorite Millennium mold of all time. It's not for everybody, but I still got to shout it out. I throw a lot of quasars, is what they're called. They're the Boss mold. First Millennium disc I picked up. Super predictable flight. If you've ever thrown a Boss before, it's just stable. Does what you do to it. If you throw it on an Andy, it's going to come out. If you throw it on a hyzer, it's whatever distance you want it to go. Got to shout out the Quasar. So.
And that's what you threw on hole 7?
I threw that on hole 7. I threw it on. What hole I throw it on? I think maybe just 7 out there at Fehringer today. But yeah.
And that was the best drive I've ever seen on hole 7 in my life. So check out a Quasar.
Yep, Quantum Quasar. I love them.
This is Liam Stott. I'm Justin Gill. Liam, what is next for your tour on 2022?
Yeah, I have a little C-tier down in Colorado Springs, playing at the Aviary. Colorado Springs got some great courses down there. Excited for that. And then the 303 Open, I'll see you there. The big Colorado event, really. I don't think is it on the Pro Tour Silver Series?
It is a USDGC qualifier this year.
USDGC qualifier. So I'm excited to go out to the Anheuser-Busch, play another Kyle event. So looking forward to the 303 Open.
Well, awesome, man. I will see you there.
Definitely.
Good luck at the Aviary.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.